Hello, it is day 4 of the world's plans. I am trying to talk loudly into the microphone because Brox is having a hard time hearing me. This coverage is brought to you by Alienware. Maybe they could get him an Alienware headset. Anyway, Broxa, congratulations on escaping play-ins. A very, very huge accomplishment for North America. No, but what has play-ins been like for you? Because this is the first time I've had a chance to talk to you guys.
Planes has been a bit of a mixed experience for me, I would say. Um, First of all, even accepting the fact that we are in planes has been a bit of a rough one. It still it still bothers me quite a bit that we only ended first place over in NA, but it is what it is. Most of all, we're just coming in with the approach that we want to take us away as much as possible from planes. Like me and Jensen both have some experience playing planes in the past, and both of us actually got a lot from it on C9 and on Fnatic. And now we just want to learn as much as possible, get some stage practice, figure out the meta a little bit, and just yeah, improve for groups. And now we made it to the group stage, so can't really complain.
Yes. Well, obviously, people are very excited about almost all of your performance, but some people would have liked to have seen you not go into tiebreakers. So, what ended up happening in that INTZ match? And can you confirm that you threw it intentionally so that you would make Mad Lions have to fight for their life and make EU fans terrified?
Oh, if I was to say something like that, I think my good old friends over in EU, my my good old EU fans they would do very mean things to me. But luckily enough, I mean, I guess it's both lucky and unlucky because it's a bit unfortunate we got kind of smacked by INCC, but I would say it's also lucky that we didn't lose intentionally. So it goes both ways, I guess. But um, I think it's safe to say that in the INTC game we tried a bit of a different strategy than we have in the past. If you look at that draft and you remove the team tag, it does not really look like a TL draft. So we went a bit out of our comfort zone, tried something new, and it didn't really work out. As I'm sure a lot of people could see, we were a bit confused. We were not really sure how to approach the game. The early game was a bit weird. We came back, we threw, and it was just a messy game, and we all made a lot of individual mistakes. I think most of us got caught really in a really silly way at some point throughout the game, and then our macro was a bit off. So all in all, a bit of an unusual draft for us, and just a ton of random mistakes. And I mean, they played well too. Shouldn't take that away from them.
Well, I think you in particular, a lot of people have been praising, and they feel like you're playing very well this plans. Do you think that is true? And if you do think you're playing well, do you think you're playing better than maybe you did during the LCS season?
I feel like one of my big challenges this year on TL has been to kind of find my footing on the team, um, bring some of the stuff that I know I'm good at while still being the jungler that the team needs and kind of adapting a bit to the play style. And I've always felt that even throughout the summer split over in NA, I felt like towards the end I kept getting better and better. And obviously, this entire time there's been the story of me being really horrible and dragging the team down and being the worst member and all this kind of stuff, which it is what it is. I've come to accept that, even though it doesn't make any sense to me. But I am happy that I can show some more aggressive moves now, show that I'm still a good player, and hopefully get to prove some people wrong. And even if I don't, doesn't matter. At least my team trusts in me, my organization trusts in me, and then yeah, hopefully we can still make some good stuff happen here in the group stage.
Yeah. Do you think that the plans? I mean, I know you said you didn't want to play in plans, but there's frequently this sort of thought that the teams that go there gain something that they wouldn't have had going, if they went straight into groups. Do you feel like this has been an important experience for you? Do you think there's a world where you enter groups stronger than you would have been if you hadn't done plans?
I think it's safe to say that we should be able to take a lot out of this planes, and playing official games always gives you a lot more than just playing scrims. Like we saw that in playoffs or when NA with TSM, like at the start of playoffs, they looked pretty bad. And by the end of playoffs, they somehow turned into the best team. Um, so just having all those official games, having that practice, really, it means a lot because you learn so much from it. At Worlds, getting used to the pressure can be a big factor. I know that was the case for us on Fnatic in 2017. Like when group stage begins, you're already used to the stage and you're used to everything around the arena, and it just gives a bit of a different vibe. So while as I said, I'm not so happy about not winning the LCS. There are certainly upsides to being in planes too, as long as you make it out, of course.
Yes. Well, and you did. Obviously people saw what your performance was in play-ins, but many are probably curious how scrims are going, and hopefully you guys have had chances to play against some of the most well known accomplished teams at Worlds. So I don't know how much you're willing to disclose, but how are things going behind the scenes as you're playing against some of these elite teams?
I wasn't really sure what to expect coming into Worlds and starting to scrim better teams, international teams, teams with all sorts of different playstyles. But I would say that I'm pretty happy with our progress, pretty happy with our improvement, and I think we've already shown in play-ins that scrimming here has already taught us a lot. We're playing a lot more solid, a lot more decisive, a lot more aggressive, and um, more than anything, I feel like um, you know these scrims have taught us a lot. Losing in LCS has taught us a lot, and now we have a bit of time before the group stage to keep working, keep fixing some of the mistakes, make sure that we don't mess up like we did against INTZ, and then hopefully we can come in even stronger and learn even more before the group stage begins.
Yeah. Well, I am also kind of curious how you handled quarantine, and I've heard some interesting things about the food options over there. So you, somebody who I know likes to be very active, likes to probably eat good meals. How are you holding up?
Well, I guess it's fair to say that I'm a pretty big boy, and a lot of people probably won't be surprised that I also eat quite a lot, um, at least compared to my teammates. Um, and obviously, during quarantine, there was a limit to how big portions I could have. So I got used to eating a little bit less than I would normally. I mean, to be fair, they actually accommodated and made sure that I had a little bit more food. Um, so that was really nice. But yeah, just in general, adjusting to the quarantine it wasn't that bad at first, but towards the end, I could definitely feel that it was getting really, really mentally draining. Um, it, at least I'm happy that Riot took pretty good care for us. Like there was a lot of snacks in the room. I had dumbbells, I had an exercise bike, and I could easily have seen a world where being stuck in a room for 14 days would have been much much worse than it actually was. And at the same time, we made sure to talk regularly with the team. Obviously, we were screaming, but just sitting and chatting casually with webcams and actually feeling a bit connected in a way, so none of us went went crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm being told we're running out of time, unfortunately, for the interview. So really quickly, lightning round. Do you have anything you want to say to any of the fans?
I would like to say thank you to all the North American fans out there who actually believe in us at Worlds and who haven't been flaming us to the ground before Worlds has even begun, and who have kept supporting us throughout play-ins. We've been getting a ton of support. A lot of love has been sent our way. I've been spammed with comments, messages on a daily basis, and seeing this kind of support really, really means a lot. It has felt a bit odd to me coming into Worlds, representing the region with everyone expecting us to just get smashed. I'm not the biggest fan of that mindset in general, but seeing that a lot of people out there think differently and actually believe makes me really happy. So hopefully we can repay some of that trust. That's the goal at the very least.
Thank you so much, Broxah. We got to go, but I appreciate the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things Worlds right here on my YouTube channel. Well, it is 7 a.m. The sun just came up, and I am recording this outro while waiting for this Brox interview, and I have no idea whenever it's going to hit. All I'm saying is, look, I'm really excited for Worlds, but the schedule's pretty tough, and I'm really excited to be covering it for all of you. But if you do like this content, it would be very nice if you to go check out my sponsors, Draft Buff and Alienware. There's links in the video description below. Draft Buff has some fantastic games that you can play, and Travis Gafford themed games where you can play with me and compare your drafts to mine. We're going to be doing that throughout Worlds, and then Alienware has some really cool stuff as well. And you can check them out in the description. They've got a discount code if you're looking for one of those new 3000 series NVIDIA cards. And yeah, I guess I'll just be staying up all night, watching. Hopefully our teams do well in the West and the sun come up outside. I'm so tired.